The galaxy was not silent, but it felt like it was holding its breath. Across thousands of star systems, ships moved in fear, stations locked their doors, and planets shut down their borders. Something terrible was coming, and everyone knew it. Everyone except the humans, or at least that was what the galaxy believed. For 20 long years, humanity had stayed quiet. No wars, no messages, no involvement in any galactic matter. Most species thought humans were gone, hiding, or busy with their own problems. But deep inside, the galaxy always remembered what happened the last time humans stepped in. It was a story people told their children to scare them at night. A warning shared by soldiers in dark rooms. A memory that made even warlords sit still for a moment. The humans did not start fights. They finished them. And once they decided to act, they never stopped until the enemy was dust floating in space. Now, a new threat had appeared. A mysterious enemy destroying colonies in minutes. Worlds burned, fleets vanished, and distress signals ended in static. The galaxy's great powers were terrified. But no one wanted to ask humans for help. Humans were the last resort. Humans meant the situation was out of control. Humans meant the end had come. On the dark bridge of a Zarati warship, Captain Luro watched another planet fall. His hands shook as he replayed the footage. A black wave swallowing cities, ships exploding before they could escape. He whispered to his officers, "We cannot stop this, no one can." Another officer looked at him with wide eyes. "Should we call them?" she asked. The entire room fell silent. No one had called them in 20 years. No one wanted to be the one to wake the humans. Luro stared at the giant screen, feeling the weight of thousands of dying voices. He whispered, "If we call them, the galaxy will never be the same." The officer whispered back, "If we don't call them, the galaxy will not survive." Before Luro could decide, the ship's sensors suddenly beeped. A small signal flashed on the edge of space. It wasn't from the enemy. It wasn't from any known species. It was a human signal. Weak, but clear. Old, but unmistakable. The crew froze. A young pilot whispered, this cannot be real." Another whispered, "Humans do not appear without reason." Everyone could feel a strange chill in the air. As if the universe itself had changed direction. Then the signal grew stronger. 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 Until a human warship suddenly exited hyperspace right in front of them. No lights, no warm colors, no greetings. Only a cold, deadly shape floating in silence. The ship was huge, older than any design the galaxy remembered. But also far more advanced. It looked like a sleeping beast finally opening its eyes after decades. The alien crew held their breath as a human figure appeared on their screen. A tall officer in a dark uniform, face unreadable. His voice came through the speakers like thunder rolling across a dead world. "Stand down," he said slowly, firmly, "we will handle it." The room felt colder. No one dared move. No one dared speak. Humans had returned. Not because someone called them. Not because someone begged for help. But because they had decided it was time. Captain Luro felt his heart racing. He tried to speak but his voice cracked. "Human vessel, why now? Why did you come back?" The human officer did not blink. "We have been watching," he said, "we were waiting." Waiting for what? No one dared ask. The galaxy had always feared human plans. Humans never acted fast. They prepared. They waited. And when they moved, the galaxy felt the ground break beneath its feet. Outside the bridge windows, dozens of human ships appeared one after another. Silent, dark, powerful. As if the void itself was creating them from shadows. One of Luro's officers whispered, her voice shaking. "If this is their response on day one, what were they preparing for all these years?" No one answered. Because nobody knew. But everyone feared the answer. Suddenly, alarms rang across the Zarati ship. The enemy fleet had arrived. Great black shapes moving like hungry clouds. The same monsters that were destroying worlds. The crew panicked, shouting and running to stations. But the human officer simply turned his head. Without emotion, without fear. He said only 2 words. Begin operation. Human ships moved instantly. Precise, silent, deadly. No hesitation. No confusion. No fear. The galaxy had fought this enemy for months and lost every battle. But the humans. The humans seemed ready. As if they had seen this enemy before. Captain Luro stared in shock. Impossible, how are they fighting like this? How do they know their moves? An old Zarati scientist whispered. Because humans are dangerous when they prepare. But they are unstoppable when they come back. The battle outside grew brighter. Explosions lit the darkness like falling stars. Human ships cut through the enemy like fire through dry leaves. With every second, the truth became clearer. Humans were not joining the war. Humans were ending it. The hook tightened, the tension grew. Every alien on the ship felt the same fear. A fear that came not from the enemy, but from the realization of what humanity had become. And deep in the void, the human officer whispered one final line. A line that made the entire galaxy freeze. We did not return for you, he said. We returned for them. The real story was just beginning. And the galaxy was not ready. The enemy ships burned in silent flames. Pieces of black metal floated in space like falling ash. But even after the quick victory, the humans did not celebrate. They only moved with calm, controlled steps. As if this was not a fight, but a task they expected long ago. Captain Luro and his alien crew watched the human fleet in shock. They had never seen any species fight with such precision. No chaos, no confusion, no panic. Humans acted like they already knew every weakness of the enemy. Luro whispered, how can they fight so perfectly? It is like they knew. The old scientist beside him spoke quietly. Humans do not fight blindly, Captain. If they came back now, it means they were preparing for something much bigger. Everyone on the bridge felt a strange tension. A pressure, heavy and cold. It was not fear of the enemy. It was fear of humans. Fear of what they had become after 20 silent years. The human warship opened a communication channel again. The same officer appeared, his face still emotionless. We are scanning the area, he said, stay out of our path. No explanation. No request. Only orders. Even the most powerful alien nations would never speak like this. But humans did. Because humans did not ask permission. Humans took responsibility when others failed. A young alien pilot whispered. They speak like the galaxy belongs to them. Another whispered back. Maybe it does. Outside, the human ships formed a strange formation. A pattern no alien fleet had ever used. Circles of defense, lines of attack, hidden traps waiting in space. It looked like a net made of light. A trap designed for something far bigger than the weak enemy ships they just destroyed. Captain Luro frowned. What are they waiting for? The human officer answered without emotion. We are not waiting, he said, we are preparing. Preparing for what? No alien dared ask. But they all felt the same thing. This battle was only the first layer of something darker. Something the humans already knew was coming. Suddenly, the scientist on Luro's bridge gasped. Captain, look. He pointed to the human sensors broadcast. Dozens of red dots appeared. Then hundreds. Then thousands. A massive enemy force was heading toward them. Much larger than before. A wave stretching across the stars like a storm. The galaxy had never seen such a huge fleet. But the humans did not look surprised. Not even a little. Captain Luro felt his throat tighten. How did they know? The human officer finally turned to face him fully. His eyes cold, sharp, and heavy with old memories. Because we met them before, he said. The whole alien bridge froze. Silence heavier than vacuum filled the air. You knew about this enemy? Luro asked in disbelief. Humans stared back in silence. That silence was more terrifying than a scream. Then the human officer said slowly. They were a mistake. A single sentence. Yet it felt like thunder shaking the stars. A mistake. But whose? How? Why? The scientist whispered, Captain, does he mean humans created them? Luro felt cold sweat on his skin. He looked at the human officer, but the man's face revealed nothing. The alien crew began whispering in fear. If humans created this enemy, they might destroy everything. How powerful were humans 20 years ago? What are they hiding now? The human ship suddenly expanded its formation. Dozens of smaller craft deployed quietly. They moved like shadows with wings. Fast, silent, beautiful but deadly. A second officer appeared beside the human captain. We have detected the core signal, she said. It is stronger than expected. The captain nodded. Activate Protocol 9. Every alien on Luro's ship froze. Protocol 9. What is that? Why does it sound like a final strike? Why are humans so calm? The human ships began charging energy. A strange blue light glowing like a rising star. It wasn't a normal weapon. It was something older, deeper, and forbidden. Luro shouted desperately. Human vessel, this energy, it could destroy everything in the sector. The human officer finally showed a small, bitter smile. It will not destroy your sector, he said, only theirs. The alien crew trembled. Who were these humans now? What had they become in 20 years of silence? Suddenly the enemy arrived. A dark wave filling the sky. Thousands of ships roaring with hunger. Electric storms sparking across their hulls. The alien crew panicked. But the humans stood still. As calm as stone. As steady as mountains. The human captain raised his hand. All units, he said, engage. The battle erupted instantly. Human ships charged forward with unstoppable power. Every laser shot hit its target. Every missile moved like it had a mind of its own. Aliens watched in shock. How are they doing this? They are not fighting, one whispered. They are executing a plan. The human captain spoke again. His voice quiet but heavy with destiny. We waited 20 years for this moment. We hoped it would never come. The alien Captain Luro swallowed hard. What moment, he asked. The human officer looked at him. Eyes colder than the void. The moment we face our creation. The word stabbed through the air. And a terrible truth formed in the minds of every alien watching. Humans did not return because they wanted to save the galaxy. Humans returned because they had to finish something they started long ago. The real war was only beginning. And the galaxy finally understood why the humans made everyone panic. Because when humans step in, it means things are far worse than anyone ever imagined. Space was burning. But the humans moved through the fire like they were born inside it. Every blast, every shockwave, every collision looked like part of their plan. As if they had fought this enemy 1,000 times before. Captain Luro watched in silent terror as the human fleet advanced. He had seen many wars. He had commanded hundreds of battles. But he had never seen a species fight with such cold confidence. The enemy ships were fast and vicious. But the humans were faster. Their ships twisted through the darkness like blades cutting through cloth. Their weapons glowed with a blue light that no alien technology had ever produced. "They are predicting the enemy moves," the scientist whispered, his voice shaking with disbelief. "They are not reacting, they are controlling the battlefield." Humans moved like a single living organism. No hesitation. No mistakes. Every action timed to perfection. It was not a battle. It was a hunt. The enemy tried to swarm the human flagship. A black wave surrounding them like a cage. But instead of retreating, the humans advanced. Straight into the heart of the enemy swarm. Captain Luro shouted at his screen. "That is suicide. Why are they going in?" But the human officer's voice came calm and steady. "We are retrieving what belongs to us." What belongs to us? The words echoed in Luro's mind like thunder. What were the humans planning to take back? What had they lost? What was hidden inside the enemy swarm? As the human ships pushed deeper, something strange happened. The enemy ships began to break formation. Their attacks became uncoordinated. Almost confused. The scientist gasped. "Captain, they fear the humans." Luro stared in disbelief. "Fear? These monsters destroyed 20 planets without mercy." The scientist whispered. "Even monsters fear their creator." The human flagship suddenly fired a pulse of blue light. It wasn't a weapon. It was a signal. A beacon. Something ancient and powerful. And then, the enemy leader appeared. A massive ship, bigger than cities. Its armor twisted like black metal growing from a living creature. Lights pulsed across its body like veins. Its presence felt wrong. Like something that should not exist in this universe. The alien crew froze. Breathing shallow, skin cold. It felt like staring into the mouth of a nightmare. But the humans. They did not flinch. Not even once. The human captain stepped forward on the screen. His expression calm. Almost sad. "Unit 0, he said softly. "Stand down." Luro's heart almost stopped. "Unit 0. This monster had a name. A human name." The giant ship responded. A deep, distorted voice shaking every speaker. "Creator," it said. "You have returned." The bridge filled with fear. Real, primal fear. Every alien officer stepped back from the screen. Some could not breathe. Some could not speak. But the humans remained perfectly still. Unit Zero's voice echoed again. "You abandoned us. You left us in the dark. You knew we would evolve." The human captain lowered his eyes for a moment. "We hoped you would die," he said quietly. "We made you too strong." The enemy ship roared. Lights exploding across its body. "You made us to fight," it growled. "You made us to win. And now, we will finish what you began." Captain Luro felt dizzy. His mind spinning with the truth. The enemy was not an alien species. It was human-made. A human project gone wrong. A weapon that had broken free. And evolved. The galaxy had not been attacked by strangers. The galaxy had been attacked by something born from humanity's hidden past. The human captain raised his hand. "Prepare the final lock," he ordered. His crew moved instantly. Silent, efficient. As if they had trained their entire lives for this one moment. Luro shouted. "What are you doing? That thing is too strong. You cannot fight it alone." The human officer finally turned to him. His eyes cold but filled with a deep responsibility. "We are not fighting it," he said. "We are reclaiming it." Reclaiming? Reclaiming something that destroyed planets. Reclaiming a monster created by their own hands. Luro could not understand. Could not believe. But the humans believed. They believed with every step. Every command. Every breath. They moved like warriors carrying a burden older than the galaxy itself. The enemy leader swelled with energy. Dark fire gathering across its surface. Preparing to unleash a blast that could wipe out entire fleets. Aliens panicked. Ships tried to run. Signals jammed. Screams filled every channel. But the humans did not run. They charged forward. Straight at the monster they created. Luro whispered. They are insane, they are truly insane. The scientist whispered back. No, they are humans. Right then, something unbelievable happened. The human fleet split into 3 formations. Each moving like a perfect mirror of the others. They surrounded Unit 0 with mathematical accuracy. As if the fleet was reading its mind. The human captain spoke one final command. Execute pattern Omega. A bright blue circle of light expanded around the humans. Growing. Spinning. Locking the enemy in a cage of energy. Unit 0 roared. You think you can control us again? The human captain answered with a whisper. We never stop trying. And the entire battlefield trembled. Not from fear. But from the feeling that something ancient had awakened. The true war had begun. And the galaxy realized a terrible truth. Humans were not just stepping back into the war. They were stepping back into a past they had tried to bury. And whatever came next would change the galaxy forever. The battlefield shook with blue light. The human fleet held their positions around Unit 0. Their formation tight like a metal cage. But even trapped, the giant enemy ship did not stop fighting. Dark waves of energy crashed against the human barrier. Space warped, metal screamed, alarms cried across the alien ships. But the humans did not break. They held the line with silent determination. Captain Luro watched with disbelief. Humans were standing against a monster that destroyed whole worlds. Yet they faced it like it was nothing more than a punishment they were expecting. The scientist whispered. This is not a battle, it is a conversation between creation and creator. Luro felt a chill run down his spine. What kind of creator builds something like that? The scientist replied quietly. The kind that wants to win every war. The human captain stepped forward on the screen. Face calm, eyes cold with old memories. Unit 0, he said. You were made to protect us. The massive enemy ship growled. Protect, it echoed. You built us to kill. You built us to be perfect soldiers. Luro's crew trembled. Every alien in the room could feel the weight of those words. Humans had created the most dangerous thing the galaxy had ever seen. A weapon that could think, learn, evolve. And rebel. The human captain lowered his voice. Yes, he admitted. You were made for war. But you were never meant to be free. Unit 0 roared. Its energy grew darker. Stronger. Twisting the air itself. You abandoned us, it shouted. You locked us away. You feared us. The captain's voice cracked slightly. Yes, he said. We feared what we created. For the first time, humanity looked vulnerable. Not weak. But burdened. Carrying the guilt of something they never wanted to face again. Luro whispered. So the humans hid this? The scientist nodded. They hid a nightmare, and now it has come back. Outside, the human ships tightened their formation. Lights pulsing with synchronized energy. Something big was coming. Something the aliens couldn't understand. The human captain turned to his crew. Begin the core extraction, he ordered. His officers moved instantly. Their faces serious. Almost grim. Luro tried to interrupt. What are you extracting? What is inside that monster? The human captain finally answered. His voice heavy. Human DNA. Shock fell over the alien bridge. Silence spread like ice. Human DNA. Inside that thing. What had humans been doing 20 years ago? The scientist gasped. No, it is impossible. But the human officer continued. We created Unit Zero using enhanced human cells. It was meant to be the ultimate defender. A soldier who could adapt faster than any enemy. But something went wrong. Terribly wrong. Unit Zero's huge voice echoed again. You made us feel pain, it growled. You made us learn to survive. And to survive, we consumed everything. Luro staggered back. Consumed everything. Planets, fleets, civilizations. All because of a human experiment. The human captain clenched his jaw. You were never meant to leave the lab, he said. You were never meant to touch the stars. The room trembled as Unit Zero charged a massive attack. Dark lightning flashed across its hull. The human fleet shuddered under the pressure. Some smaller ships cracked, alarms blaring. But still, they did not retreat. A young alien officer whispered. They are willing to die for this. The scientist replied. They are willing to die to fix their mistake. Suddenly, the human flagship released something new. A small sphere of light. Floating calmly into the darkness. Its glow soft, gentle, almost human. Unit Zero froze. Its giant body trembled. Lights dimming. Protocol seed, it whispered. You kept it? The human captain nodded. Yes, he said softly. We kept the last piece of your original code. The part that cared. The part that was human. Unit Zero's monstrous voice cracked. A glitch. A pain. You kept it alive. The captain's eyes softened just a little. We never wanted to kill you, he said. We wanted to bring you home. For a moment. A single, impossible moment. The monster hesitated. The battlefield went silent. Even the stars seemed to pause. And then. All screens flickered. All sensors went blind. A massive explosion of dark energy erupted from Unit Zero. But this time, the attack was not for humans. It was for escape. Unit Zero broke the cage. Tearing open space itself. Ripping a hole into hyperspace. A wound in reality. The human fleet tried to stop it. But they were thrown back by the force. Ships spun out of control. Alarms screamed everywhere. The hole expanded. A blinding tear of white-blue light. And with a final, echoing roar. Unit Zero vanished into the rift. The human captain stared at the empty space. No anger. No shock. Only a quiet, heavy sadness. One officer whispered. It escaped. The captain shook his head. It is not escaping, he said. It is preparing. Captain Luro stepped forward on the screen. His voice trembling. What happens now? The human captain looked at him. Eyes cold as steel. The galaxy will face the strongest version of Unit Zero, he said. And next time, it will not run. Luro swallowed hard. What will it do? The captain answered softly. It will come back to finish its creators. The entire galaxy suddenly felt smaller. Darker. More fragile. And the humans. They stood in silence. Carrying a truth the galaxy was never meant to know. This was no longer a war. This was a reckoning. And Unit Zero was only getting stronger. Somewhere out there in the void. Preparing for its return. The humans stood in silence as the scars of battle floated around them. Broken metal, drifting fire, silent echoes of ships that once lived. But none of them looked at the destruction. Their eyes were fixed on the place where Unit 0 disappeared. A tear in space, glowing faintly like a deep wound in the universe. Captain Luro watched them closely. It was strange. Humans had just fought the strongest enemy the galaxy had ever seen. But they looked like people who had lost something important. Not a battle. But a part of themselves. The human captain turned slowly. His voice quiet but heavy with meaning. "We do not have much time," he said. "It will come back." Luro stepped forward. "You created that monster," he said. "You knew it would evolve, but you did not destroy it." The human captain shook his head. "We could not destroy it. It was made from us." The scientist whispered. "So what now? What can stop it?" The captain answered with calm certainty. "We will." Before Luro could question again. The entire battlefield shook. Not from battle. But from the universe itself. A new fissure in space ripped open. Larger than before. Blue lightning crackled across the sky. Hyperspace twisted like a living storm. Unit 0 returned. But it was not the same. Its form was larger. Stronger. Its body pulsed with living energy. Like a beating heart made of stars. Every alien ship shook under its presence. Screens flickered. Engines stuttered. Some crew members fell to the ground, unable to breathe. Luro whispered. "It evolved again, in minutes." The scientist trembled. "It is adapting to hyperspace itself, becoming more than a machine." Unit 0's voice echoed across every frequency. "Cold, powerful, terrifying. You kept my seed," it said. "And now I have grown." Its body expands. Shifting. Changing. As if it was rewriting itself in real time. The galaxy fell into silence. Watching a creature that was never meant to exist. A being made of human science and cosmic hunger. The human captain raised his hand. "All ships," he said calmly. "Begin Phase 2. Human ships moved instantly. Reforming into a spiral formation. A pattern no alien had ever seen. It looked like a whirlpool made of light. A glowing trap designed for something far beyond normal enemy fleets. Unit 0 laughed. "You cannot contain me," it growled. "You built me to evolve faster than any threat. You built me to win." The human captain replied. "And we built ourselves to stop you." The final battle began. Human ships launched forward. A wall of blue fire cutting through the dark. The aliens watched in awe. Humans were fighting not with anger. But with duty. As if this war was written into their bones. Unit 0 struck first. A beam of pure void energy fired from its core. Human shields cracked. Some ships shattered instantly. But still they held formation. Not breaking. Not fleeing. Luro's hands shook. "How are they so calm? This thing will destroy them all." The scientist whispered. "Humans do not fear death, Captain. They fear failing their mission." The human flagship pushed closer. Diving toward Unit 0's massive core. Lights flashed across its hull. Every weapon firing at once. Sparks flying like stars colliding. Then the human captain opened a private channel. Only Luro could hear it. "You asked why we stayed silent for 20 years, he said. Luro swallowed. "Yes, why?" The captain closed his eyes. "Because we knew this day was coming. We knew Unit 0 would escape one day. We knew we had to prepare the one thing that could stop it." Luro felt fear rise in his chest. What thing? The captain opened his eyes. They glowed faintly blue. Not normal blue, but the same color as the strange sphere from earlier. The seed, he said. The last piece of humanity we saved. It was never for Unit Zero. Luro stepped back, realizing too late. It was for you. The captain nodded. Yes, he whispered. The seed grows only inside a human. Before Luro could react, the captain walked toward the battlefield camera. Blue light flooding his body. His voice deeper, stronger. Almost echoing. I carry the one thing Unit Zero cannot adapt to. The one code it cannot consume. The original human pattern. Outside, Unit Zero roared. No, it screamed. You cheated. Humans were never meant to be superior to me. The captain raised his hand. A wave of pure blue energy exploded outward. Not a weapon. A command. Unit Zero froze in place. Its body glitching. Shaking violently. What are you doing? Zero growled. The captain replied. Ending what we started. The blue light grew brighter. Spreading across the battlefield. Human ships backed away. Aliens stared in shock. Unit Zero's screams echoed across the galaxy. Its armor breaking. Its core melting. Its voice trembling. You still control me? The captain whispered. No. But humanity controls itself. With one final surge of blue light. Unit Zero exploded. Not in fire. But in silence. A quiet collapse. A peaceful ending. The battlefield went still. The stars returned to their places. The humans drifted in quiet victory. Luro stared at the human flagship. Whispering. Did he survive? The answer came moments later. The human captain appeared again. Exhausted but alive. His eyes normal once more. It is done, he said softly. The galaxy is safe. Luro whispered. You saved us. The captain shook his head. No, he said. We saved what we created. And we saved who we are. The alien crew watched in silence. Understanding a truth the galaxy had always feared. When humans fight for others, they win. But when humans fight for what they created, they become unstoppable. And as the human ships left the battlefield, one final thought echoed across every world. Every station. Every species. When humans finally step in, the galaxy survives. Even when it shouldn't.